Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. We're back for Survivor 1 through 50. We're heading into the new era. Lindsey, Jonathan, Coach Drew, and I are here to talk about Survivor 41, dawn of the new era. So I'm very interested to talk about 41. This is actually the first rewatch of the season I've had since the new era started airing. So I'm very interested to see if my opinions change on the rewatch. As we get into it, subscribe, like, share, comment, and let's get into it. Why did you guys want to discuss Survivor 41? Anybody?
Anyone?
Jonathan?
Well, I figured it was an interesting season to get into for the fact that when I started my Survivor journey, and obviously I've been watching all these in chronological order for the most part, and I started it in 2022, but like by then we were already like in the new era, and like one day I'll catch up to everybody. And it's like one day I'll get there, and it seemed like a long time before I was going to get to this point. But when I got done with Winners at War and I got into 41, I was like, finally, I'm where everyone has been at for the past 3 years, and I can finally start getting into this whole idea of what the new era is, like what's going on, like who are the big players, who's starting to pop up on the screen and whatnot. But yeah, I was just very like, wow, I can't believe when I got to this point that it was like I'm in the 2020s now, and I was like, wow, like it felt like a week ago I was in 2002, and now we're like here. So I figured this would be an interesting point to go back and talk about going into the new era.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. I think that they were trying a lot of different things out, as we'll get to. So we'll discuss that. Coach Drew, why did you want to discuss 41?
So in 2020, I joined the Survivor Diversity Campaign account on Twitter, led by a few people of color in the community, plus Davey from 37. And obviously the goal was to do 50% BIPOC on Survivor, Big Brothers, Amazing Race. And so this was the first season that was going to be the case. It was going to be the first season since I joined the online community, because up until 2020, I didn't know that any of you people existed. So to now be a part of the community at that point, and I was still making a bunch of unemployment because I was still laid off because I worked at a college. I was like, screw it, I'm going to go to New York City for the 41 premiere. I'm going to get all of my friends that I've met for the last year to fly out. We're just going to drink and have a great time. And the 41 premiere, I remember sitting at a bar in New York City and just buying shots for people because I could. And it was just Survivor fans, players, people from 42 that weren't supposed to be there. I probably spent a few grand at this bar that night. And it was worth it because no matter how we feel about 41, when it came, like when we see Jeff walking through the woods and everything, it's like, yeah, this is real life. We're back. So this is the only season of the post-COVID era that I watch with nostalgia goggles because of everything surrounding it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the diversity campaign, thank you for bringing that up because it was something hugely important. I think the diversity of the new era is something that is a very good thing that they've done since the new era started. So I'm proud that like they took that initiative and that you and others got that to happen. So Lindsey, what about you? Why did you want to discuss 41?
Kind of echoing off of Coach Drew, like 1000% what you just said. I was working in the office until March 2020. I was on a road trip to Tampa, Florida, and all of a sudden I got flown home because COVID is everywhere. There's no way we can just COVID without discussing the new era in 41. And I was stuck in my house by myself, and I've never gone back to the office, by the way. I've worked from home since then. And Survivor 41 was like new people, a fresh of breath air. Like I felt like I could breathe again. Survivor is back. So it gave me a sense of like normalcy that I used to feel going to the office, going about my normal life. And Jeff and this cast kind of brought it back. So we can discuss how normal the season is for the next hour and a half. But in general, it was kind of like, okay, like things will be okay again. So that's what Survivor 41 meant to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I just moved into my apartment like a month before season 41 started, and it started a tradition because I'd watched Winners of War with my parents as well. We've been watching since Redemption Island, but they just moved into their new house in Traverse City here, and it's where I grew up because it used to be our cottage. Anyway, so now I was living in my apartment, and I still wanted to keep the tradition alive, so I would still drive to my parents' house every Wednesday, and we would watch Survivor together. So like that tradition hasn't stopped, luckily, and like I think that's something that's hugely important, is still getting to do that. And I know that my parents maybe haven't been as fond of the new era for some reasons, just because they don't like to see certain things change.
They're not alone. They're not alone.
Yeah. So I mean, no shade towards my parents. Like, they're great, and like I can completely understand why they wouldn't want certain things to change. For me, 41 on a rewatch, it's not one of my favorite seasons still. I don't hate the cast. It's not like Thailand levels of bad, or like, it's not that, but it's not one of my favorite casts, I'll say. Now, there are really big shining stars in this cast, as I'm sure we can get into now. I mean, you get Shan and Ricard being like villains, quote unquote, that are, really interesting to watch them manipulate their way through the Ua tribe. You get Xander, who at least is an interesting character, even if the edit inflates him too much. Nasir is a really fun character. There's a bunch of them. I'm sure we'll get into many more of them that are fun. There's just some that maybe aren't that interesting, I guess I should say. Through
no fault of their own. It's just...
yeah. Sometimes it's really the edit that kind of drowns out a lot of them. But all right. Well, I mean, let's get into this cast. What are your guys' thoughts on this cast in general then?
I remember doing the pregame for this, and my worst placement as far as guessing winner. I predicted Abraham to be the winner. But he just stood out to me among all of these folks. I also remember everyone during pregame, everyone was obsessed with Shan. Shan was the big, she's the winner pick. She was everyone's winner pick. And she's one of these players that the expectations, she exceeds the expectations that were put on her from the preseason. Even folks like Brad, who I get Holy Peter from season 4 vibes from him every time I watch.
Yes.
So yeah, Brad was a fun pre-merge player. So there is a lot of fun to be had with these folks that, like you said, like Thailand. There's a Jed there, right? I couldn't tell you what Jed looked like other than like white and blonde. Like, I couldn't tell you anything about Jed. And I could tell you about Brad.
Yeah. The pre-mergers are pretty memorable. So I didn't have the best pre-merge pick there. I will say Abraham is great. Like, obviously he's now involved with the Survivor community still. And Abe actually gave Kristen and I advice on a call for TribeOfNerds to grow. So I just want to shout out Abraham there because he was hugely important for that. So thank you, Abe. But I had JD, and JD I thought was going to do a lot better. Even like from the premiere, I'm like, he's going to be a huge character in the season. Turns out he was just very excited, an excited kid. He was young, and I think that got the better of him. But yeah, as you said, Brad's great. I think, we've come to learn more about Abe and Sarah, I think, because Sarah and Abe also both played Vanquish, so that's awesome for them. Voce has been on podcasts. I know he like argues with Tiffany a lot. There's some, and then we already named some of the other ones, and I'm sure we'll talk much more about Shan. But Jonathan, your thoughts on the cast?
Yeah, it's a goofy cast. I think I noticed going into this, okay, so this is like the format of what the new era is going to be like when they're structuring tribes. Like, there's going to be 3, gone are the days of 2. There's going to be it's going to be kind of in this set block of the groups of people from basically the whole new era kind of thing too. But I thought it was like a goofy cast for the most part. I love Nasir a lot.
Yes.
I just love that he was like super excited like all the time, and he was like, "This is amazing! Like I love being here, love this guy." I just thought, it was a really interesting cast. I was like, okay, I know people like say whatever they will about it, but I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Like especially pre-merge wise too, with like Genie and whatnot. Like it was a good one.
Yeah. Nasir's really fun. I always my parents and I always thought he was like Luis from Ant-Man. Like I just feel like the super positive, fun-loving guy that like I totally get that vibe from him. I have met him in person this past year at Celebrity Weekend as well, and he signed my autograph book. Super fun guy, and just like we'll talk about the moment of activating the idols because that's one of the best moments of the season. So, Lindsey, your thoughts on the cast?
We definitely need to talk about the people that were originally on 41 that ended up playing later.
Yes, you brought this up to me. So,
as far as like my favorites, I'm a home team player. So JD, he grew up in the same area of Oklahoma that I did. So JD, I already messaged you. I told you we'd be talking about you today. I'm calling you out, bud. This is your really love you, JD. And also Danny McRae. I am not an America's sports team person. I'm married into a Cowboys family, so I'm a Cowboys fan. So Danny McRae, let's go.
Yeah, Danny McRae is going to be fun to talk about. He's a very likable guy. He was on the challenge as well, correct? And so just seems like another very positive person. And we will talk about how he changed Survivor history by arguing with Jeff Probst, as we mentioned last week on the Winners of War podcast. So I'm interested to talk about Danny. And Lindsey, since you brought it up, why don't we get into the people that almost made it on this season, if not for COVID and other extenuating circumstances? What who do you have?
I have the full list. I know who I want on this season, but do we want to go through the list or who everybody wants first? What are you guys feeling?
You can go through the list and we can kind of like discuss it as we go. I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay, this is off the top of my head. I do have it written down on notes that I've lost. But originally on season 41, I believe that we lost a couple people. We'll see seasons later. Starting with 42, I believe we had Tori, also from Oklahoma. Shout out.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Tori also won Sequester, and we'll talk about her more next season. But Tori would have been interesting on this season. I feel like she probably filled that Shan type role, if that makes sense. Like I feel like someone who is kind of like competitive and has like that villainous, I guess, edge. Like I feel like Tori kind of fits that, although her game was more like a scrappy underdog in 42, but that's a conversation for next week. But
very fun. We also have Lindsey from 42 had
COVID.
So Tiffany, I believe replaced her, and she was on.
I believe that's correct. I think Tiffany was fine. I think Lindsey is definitely a better player. I feel like Lindsey probably mixes better with the 42 cast anyway. So
yes, and I think from 42, Jonathan as well was also on the 41 cast.
Yeah, Jonathan and Zach Wertenberger. I know you sent, and Zach did a video like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he was like, this is who was on or who I was in casting with and all this. Yeah, so him and Jonathan were as well. We'll talk about Jonathan much more next week in preparation for 50, of course. But all these people, like it'd be interesting to see them on. Maybe Zach could have done better on 41 than 42, but I don't know. We'll talk about that next week with Zach. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this list? Or do you have more, Lindsey? With
I have more for 43 and 44, but let's just stop here and hear everybody's thoughts.
Yeah, Jonathan, Drew, any thoughts on the people that from 42 that could have gotten on 41?
I feel like the people that did well on 42 would probably say to this day that they were glad they went on 42 and did well there instead of like risking it like here. But like again, people that didn't do well on 41 or 42 were probably like, man, I wish I was on 41 that I could have had like a second shot going there. So it's just kind of like to each their own. So it's like I can see anyone on that list being like, oh, like cool, like pick your poison in a way.
and that's why I don't really fantasy book all of this, only because like we as fans even say, hey, if you replay this season 50 times, you get 50 different outcomes. Well, now you're actually adding extra variables of like, well, what happens if you do these people? It's like, yeah, okay, now we have 1,000 different ways that this could happen. So I'm glad that it happened the way that it did. We're going to see eventually down the line, we're going to see some of these players interact with people they should have played with for the first time. Probably. I don't see a way that there isn't someone from 41 and 42 playing together in a season down the line. And it'll probably be Jonathan again because he seems like the new golden boy. So
yeah. True.
I think y'all phrased that really well, though, with like you're meant to play with how you're meant to play. Because like the next on my list was Jesse from 43, was supposed to be 41, and he's perfect on his season.
Yeah, Jesse needed to be on 43. Like Jesse was a really good part of that season, and I think that's a season that he does a lot better on than in this season. So, any other ones, Lindsey? Or are we ready to move on?
Bruce was the other one, but he's played them.
Yeah, we love Bruce here.
We love you, Bruce. I'm sorry for the shade. It's not real shade.
All right, let's get into the season itself. So we have our Marooning back. We have 3 tribes again, but this time no theme. So and obviously you were gonna get tired of saying no theme for 9 seasons in a row.
Hey,
I don't know.
Jeff being like, drop the 4, keep the 1.
Yes,
man.
Yeah,
what does that even mean?
What does that monster even mean?
Yeah, that was I was gonna say. Jeff kept saying there's a monster coming, and I don't even think we ever got the answer. The first time in the new era, I think, is Jelinski calling himself the monster.
So we had to wait 5 seasons for the monster to show up. Yeah,
Jelinski.
Episode several. It took several amount of times to get it.
It took several years to get Jelinski on here.
Several years for the monster.
Jeff had been on a crash course going into the season of like irritability with the fans. I feel like by 1, we had our fun little like, oh, let's just watch all Survivor during COVID again and then come back to this. Then I think within, the first 20 minutes, like, I think I'm good with you. But I think I'm good with you.
Yeah, I think Jeff lost his marbles during COVID.
He stayed in that garage from May of 2020 until they went out and flew to film this again. So yeah, he was. He lost it.
And it's funny for this and 42, where because nobody could go and get a haircut, so Jeff has like the mullet going on.
Yeah.
So it's
like come on, cut your hair, dude.
Well, and nobody could. I mean, I guess unless Jeff got his like professional hairstylist. I mean, I don't know, but it's just funny. I guess he was probably wanting that to like come out of the woods and be like, oh, hey, look at me. I'm just like everyone who's been trapped in their houses since COVID. So
but your house has scissors. It's not that hard. Just cut your hair.
He learned for 43 onwards that he needed to cut his hair. So
if you're gonna dye it, you might as well cut it too.
It's like new year, new me. It's like
new era, new me.
New era, new. It's all new.
Yeah. So we get the boat, and this is where we are going to get the first moment of Jeff making a statement. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. I feel like Jeff wanted this for television purposes and not for like an organic moment. Like I think on Jeff's part, and I don't want to fault any of the cast for saying what they felt was right and wanting to be inclusive. So I just want to say that up front.
Well, and then they've also come out afterwards and said, yeah, we felt it was a little weird that he was doing this and then he did it again. Yeah. And this is one of the first times this season where the fans just really start to show their ugly heads. Yeah. Because now it's now we all hate Ricard because of this. It's like, really? You're choosing to die on the Ricard hill of not liking Ricard hill? Like it's a tad weird, but maybe you guys will get better as the season progresses.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Ricard fan, but it's not because of that. I just don't think he's as good of a player. I will say I do think Ricard is like a decent player because he was right in lockstep with Shan of like manipulating their entire tribe to survive that long. So I just want to say that up front. But like I don't think he's like, because I think like once he got voted out, he basically says, "Oh, I'm on like the Mount Rushmore of Survivor players." I'm like, Ricard, you are definitely not.
We just started. We got 8 more seasons to go through, buddy. Like,
it's episode 1. We dropped the 4. Like,
it's episode.
That's true. That's true. He is the one person on Mount Rushmore after the season is done.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Ricard, though. Like, I really am. I do. I'm gonna slightly disagree with you, Jake. I think he played a really good game, but also no, not Mount Rushmore. Give me a new era. Like, maybe he's Parvati, like her first season. Let's see it. Give me a new era, fans versus favorites. Let's see him cook, but not right now.
Yeah, maybe I just need to see him return. And like again, I thought for a couple seasons there, I thought him and Shan were locks. I mean, I'm sure we can kind of touch on that a bit. Like nobody from 41, 43, or 44 is on 50, and that's a bit shocking because I definitely would have thought Shan, Ricard, Nasir, Xander, like I feel like some of these people would have been like almost locks for 50 at some point in time.
Yeah,
and they took Jonathan instead.
And they did Jonathan instead. Well, they need Jonathan though.
Yeah, I think I will say I think Jonathan represents a certain type of gameplay in Survivor. I think they do need someone of that archetype, is what I'll say.
But they do. They have Colby and Ozzy.
Yeah, well, that's true. And Joe Hunter, yes.
Oh yeah, like I love Joe, I love Jonathan. They're both great, but they're the same archetype. Same with like Colby, same with Ozzy, as you just said, Coach Drew. Like they already have those. Like maybe just choose someone else. But they seem like very nice people, so I'm not gonna drag them here.
Yeah, and I've met Jonathan. Jonathan is really cool in person from when I've met him. So I just want to say that Jonathan's cool.
You always need a Jonathan in Survivor.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got a good track record. So,
yeah, Jonathan Young, Jonathan Penner.
Man,
not Jonathan Libby from Blau, though. What could have been? What could have been?
The Jonathan record is up here. The Lindsey record is down here. Like, yeah, you have a great point.
Yeah.
At least you have Lindsey from next season, but pretty well.
Jonathan's the right name, though. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, and what I have Jake Billingsley, Jacob Derwin, and Jake O'Kane.
And Coach Drew.
I've got I've got Christy and Savage.
But you also have Coach.
I also have Coach. Yeah. I prefer Savage, and I don't prefer Drew Christie, but I guess Andrew Savage. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay. Savage is underrated. Such a good player. Like we can talk about that at a different time.
Yeah, this is a tangent.
But yes.
We'll shift back to 41. So they get marooned now, and we get our 3 tribes. So we have Ua, Yasa, and Levu. And you think Levu is going to be the disaster tribe because they can't even unclip the boat. Oh, Yasa also has a really bad start as well because they can't find their paddles. So it's like these are the 2 tribes. And so, I mean, what was your favorite tribe of the 3? I liked the green color of Ua, and as I said, I was cheering for JD. So I was like, I kind of want Ua to do well. And I will say Ua doesn't disappoint. I think they're the most interesting tribe of the pre-merge because of Shan and Ricard doing what they do and manipulating that entire tribe. And you have Brad running around, and like there's some fun stuff on Ua.
Like, hey, give me an Nasir tribe, man. I'd rather hang out with him all day than get like manipulated by Shan Ricard. Like that was like I was like, that's the fun tribe over there. I don't want to go downhill with these people, get caught in the woods with Brad or something like that.
That's true.
We're screwed, man. I was like, we're screwed. And I was like, I like Jeannie though. Jeannie was cool.
Yeah.
I think you brought it up, like because they keep losing, we do spend a lot of time with them, and I do think that the production does a really good job at the time that we do get with them. Like the dynamics of how this tribe is going. You can kind of predict what's going to happen here and there. And, one of the things fans love to complain about is like, oh, yeah, we miss when there was drama. We miss when there was... I'm like, this tribe is nothing but that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else you want besides them throwing fists, which has never happened. But like this tribe, we're getting exactly what we want as far as like messiness, as far as backstabbing and blind sides and all that. We get all of that in one tribe over the course of what they are tribal 5 of the 6 episodes, something like, or the first 6 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
We get jump the gun a second, like JD gives away something and gets voted out, and it's like, how are you guys not being entertained by this? This is great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, and then we do have some more new twists. We have the sweat or savvy, which happens for the first time, as we're going to repeatedly see over and over again. So you have Danny and Deshawn that do the sweat task for the Levu tribe, and Xander and Voce do it for the Yase tribe. I think it's funny, like that Voce is the one who's like super opposed to it. Like he's like, I'm stuck on the weenie tribe. I don't know. Voce could have been a fun character, I think.
And he really just he's collateral damage.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, because the women band together, women and Evie band together, pretty quickly on that tribe. So
yeah,
and Xander's doing Xander things by finding like the first beware advantage and whatnot, and that being like a big deal.
No, like Xander's like a random kid having a fun adventure. He's like, oh, we'll see what I find. I love him this whole season. I'm excited about his journey. I weird though, like watching Danny and Deshawn do the work. And he's like, oh, we won't talk strategy. I'm the one that implemented that. Watches them talk strategy. Runs back to camp.
Yeah, Nasir like ratting out Deshawn and Danny is hilarious. Like he's just like, ladies, like we gotta get rid of Danny and Deshawn.
But like, which was crazy about that was, I feel like Nasir kind of like had an old soul in the sense of like, if you did that like an old school Survivor, they would love you for that. Like those two gotta go, like whatever. But he comes up to them and they're like, it backfires. Well, it's okay for him for like a little bit, but I think that was kind of a sign like going into the new era. It's like old school kind of like trickeries or like I'm gonna do this like that would normally work, don't work anymore. For some odd reason. It's like, I'm trying to gain trust with you by ratting out these other two people. And the people that I'm ratting them out to are like, you know what? No, that means we can't trust you, Nasir, because you're a rat. Like, what do you mean? Like, they're looking for idols in the bushes. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
granted, that's a really good point. It is where we switch to the new era, right? Like, the new rules are starting. I think that's a really excellent point, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's so weird, too, because I was like, oh, so, like, now we're just, like, gone are the days of just like it was a very weird shift. I know like Survivor had been off the air for like a year and a half or so, but it really was a new like mentality of playing the game kind of thing too. Because that's it. That's all.
Oh, okay. What I was gonna say is like a lot of these people had done what we all done, sat at home. A lot of people probably just rewatched these seasons over and over again. Like that's just. And so when you go out after basically this being your main point or main thing you've watched for as long as the lockdown was, you kind of go out there and I won't say your impulse control is horrible, but like you just start doing things just because you've got 20 years worth of Survivor in your head and really nothing else because you haven't done anything else over the last however many months. Then you go out there and you're just trying to do everything people have brought up Nasir and Xander, how they're just out there having fun and everything. But you can even see that with how production is just throwing everything out this season. Like, hey, we're going to do all of these twists. We're going to do all of like, this is a beware advantage now. It's like, I feel like we can, any negatives that we can kind of put on specifically 41 and 42 kind of goes back to COVID because they're basically trying to speed run a year and a half of seasons into 1 to 2 seasons. And, it sucks, but it does lead to some very fun moments like the Nasir moment that we referred to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, like the speed running, because this is how we get 26 days in the first place. COVID made them shorten it to 26 days because they also had everybody quarantined for 2 weeks prior for just 41 and 42, I believe. And so I understand it because of that. Like, otherwise I get, we don't get any more Survivor if they don't implement that rule. Now, I guess I don't need it to 100% go back to 39 days. I think it's more like I want them to switch it up than from doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I don't know. It definitely feels like they could have gone back to certain things and just chose not to. So
yeah. Jake, you mentioned the 26 versus 39 days. Like, for sure, it seems like they had to this season, next season, just for COVID protocols. Like, it's talked about all over the internet. Do we want to take a poll? 39 or 26? Like, where do we stand?
Yeah. Everybody let us know in the comments whether you're preferring 39 or 26. I feel like I know what the answer is going to be from the majority of people.
And I didn't think about it until you guys brought it up, how, like, these kind of parameters happened because of COVID. It wasn't like Jeff was like, you know what? We're just going to do 26 days and not do 39 anymore, because people would have had like an upheaval or uproar of it. But that was literally a factor of the time. It was like, we got to quarantine everybody. We have to kind of work around this thing that may not go away kind of thing, and that being COVID. But then obviously we get to it now and everything's like fine and hunky-dory, and they've had like a formula of that for so long that now we get all the people that are like, 39 days is way different than 26. And like, it's just bring it back and vote it back in and kind of thing. And so, but yeah, like I didn't think about it like, oh, like that actually was because they didn't do that because for fun. They did it because of COVID. Kind of thing.
I cannot wait for a pre-COVID player on 50 to have an emotional breakdown during 50 so that Eliza specifically can stop talking about how much harder 39 days is. If one of your people from before times are having a emotional or whatever freak out on day 9, I think that further proves that the amount of days isn't really the issue or any of this. There are bigger issues that have nothing to do with how many days these people are out there, because instead of 39 days, we're just going to starve the shit out of them for 26. Which is probably the same. You're probably losing the same amount of weight during that time period.
Yeah. We also get the journeys. So obviously that's going to be a new era staple, to send 2 or 3 people on a journey, and then they have to decide whether to do a task or not. Sometimes they're forced to do the task, even though they don't want to. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, in other seasons. But they do have the choice here to risk or protect their vote. So you have the prisoner's dilemma, and I think this is interesting because at least they're being given the choice to do it. Obviously, I don't like it when Survivor forces them to lose their vote in these scenarios, but at least they can choose whether they want to risk it or not. So,
we're going to talk about it a lot, but it's a lot being thrown at us. There's a lot being thrown at us this season.
100%. What were we going to say, Lindsey?
Oh, I'm just saying I agree. I thought the more interesting than all the twists that we're about to talk about was Christian Hibicki breaking down how the prisoner dilemma, what you should choose.
Yes.
There's so much at once. And that is just a little bit more interesting, a little bit tidbit than everything we're about to discuss, because Survivor just really threw us so much at once.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely why, like, we have so much to discuss just in this premiere alone. We're
going to be talking for 5 hours.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's speed it up here. All right, so we have 2 tribes losing and going to tribal the first round, and we're going to lose Abraham and Sarah, both people who I think could have done a lot better on other seasons. I was shocked when Sarah went as early as she did, to be honest, because I definitely didn't have her as a first boot. Preseason. So
I definitely didn't have Abraham as a first.
Yeah,
and we didn't have JD or Jeannie or or any of the other rest of the pre-mergers going this early too.
Yeah. It's interesting immediately to vote 2 people off first, because generally you don't start the season off that quickly. But I kind of like that they tried starting the new era off with a bang. it kind of made it interesting. So
I enjoy the bang. I think they're trying to recreate the Survivor 20 premiere. Instead we see behind the scenes, instead of the helicopters, they are trying to that get us immersed. So fully understand where they're going from. I do think Sarah and Abe, like kind of same thing as Jesse or other players we discussed that weren't actually on 41, would maybe do a lot better on a different season.
Yeah. We could probably pick any other New Era season, and I think both of them probably do a lot better. So, all right. So then we're gonna lose them, and then Voce is going to end up going because the women and Evie decide that they're gonna take Voce out. It was supposed to be Xander but Tiffany got Evie and Liana to switch to Voce. Which, I mean, kudos to Tiffany for getting them both to be willing to sacrifice Voce. So, again, I hate losing Voce this early because I thought he could have been a fun character. So,
and this is where we start getting. So, this is where we start getting the phrases that two of you guys have up here. Nasir's the only one that seems like he's genuinely having a fun time saying it. That's what I remember. And Xander is just like, he's just trying to say it without embarrassing himself. And you as an audience member are embarrassed for him that he has to say this silliness more than once. Yeah, Nasir does it, and it feels like a triumphant moment. And every Brad and Xander say it, it's like, oh man, just stop talking. Please.
I don't even think Brad says it right when he's like, I'm like, my hair is like fuzzy broccoli.
Yeah.
Yes. The fuzzy broccoli hair. Also, Brad underrated. I want to see him.
Yeah. Oh, well, we will talk much more about Brad and his boot episode coming up here shortly. Yeah. I mean, I guess let's get into it now. But I mean, I did like the phrases at first, but I'm definitely glad they didn't outstay their welcome. But let's head to the Brad boot episode. So this is where Brad is gonna basically pull a Tony and go running around and hide in the bushes. And this definitely made me happy to see someone bring the Tony energy and to have it be like the farm guy who's used to just like being alone and I thought it was fantastic. I also think it's funny when like Brad is literally telling Sarah and Shan he's voting for one of them in the first round. Like, Brad, what are you doing?
That old school mentality, man. He thought it was the same game. It's a new era, man. We don't do that. It's not
Season 1 now.
Yeah. I mean, any other thoughts on Brad? Because we also get that journey with him and Tiffany and Sydney that happens, and he risks his vote and loses his vote. But he has like 2 advantages. He has like a steal a vote, and I mean, and the beware. Like,
there's so much going on. By the way. Like, there's so many things.
That's a big negative for this season is like the overstuffed with advantages. Like. So much.
We haven't even talked about the game within the game. It's already at this point.
I honestly forgot that even existed until like I did rewatch it and I kept seeing those. I'm like, oh yeah, this was a thing. It doesn't make
sense. Survivor tried, okay? We're all tired in 2021, right?
Yeah, I mean it was something for people who didn't really have a life at that point because we were stuck inside. So it worked then, and then they realized, when we were all getting back outside of our houses that like this doesn't really work anymore.
Before we skip to the next boot in the next episode, I really do think Brad played a good game. I think he did the best he can, and I think it's always interesting when you watch players with a season they watch, like the most recent one they watched. So you watched Tony at Winners at War and how you bring that to your game. So I think it's always interesting with each new season, thinking about what they most recently saw in Survivor and how they bring that or don't bring it into their strategy.
And by this point too, on the Ua tribe, it was like they're kind of like there's already an established like Shan and Ricard are like that's the nucleus. Brad basically goes, and it's kind of like when you're on the disaster tribe, it's different from when you're on a tribe that's like constantly winning because you don't have to prove any sense of like loyalty or go to tribal council. We've always seen it, but when you're on a disaster tribe, relationships form very, very quickly, especially within like 26 days. Like your ride or dies, whoever they're going to be. But you can definitely see that form, like whoever your person's going to be. If you keep losing and going to tribal council, that it's always going to end up coming back to you two to decide who goes home, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and that's very and that's definitely shown with Shan and Ricard too, because they're like, we decide who's going home. Like, we can keep control of this if we go to tribal council the next 2 times, which they do. But it's like, okay, like we know who the established players are on this tribe.
Yeah, and I also find it fascinating. I mean, this is one of the few New Era seasons where I feel like they don't care about like keeping the tribe strong. They're ultimately just strategically picking people off, and it doesn't matter if we go to tribal because we're in control of things. Because like arguably Ua probably should keep someone like Brad for challenges because he's probably keeping them in it, but they
I know I wouldn't want to be on a tribe like that because it knows that you're around people that don't care if they win or lose, as long as, because you're going to be like, I'd rather be on a tribe that's like, we're all in this together, or for at least a little bit, than like being that one guy with the attitude going to the tribe where it's like, if he dies kind of thing, to be like, what do you mean? We can all make it out of here, right? It's like, no, like, we don't care. We're going down with the ship. Like,
yeah. Well, we're gonna lose Brad. He gets sent back to the farm as he's on his way out.
I love that.
More like he gets sent out to pasture.
Yeah. Well, bye, Brad. Before we get to JD's elimination, we should also track Erika, because this is what her first confessional. I mean, maybe she had one in the opening, I think, but otherwise, this is her first confessional, and this is where she brings up the idea of I'm a lamb that is gonna become a lion. So this is obviously the theme of the season here, and I remember watching that, and it was interesting to like look at that back then and not really catch that they're putting in there for a reason, because Erika's going to win. But I was just like, we haven't really focused that much on Luvu aside from, Nasir and, Danny and Deshawn, and then, Sydney a little bit, and then Heather not at all. But
41 is like a movie with a great plot twist that you like, that's like staring you right in the face. And then when you go back and watch it again, it's like, oh yeah, duh. Because 41, there are so many moments to the point where they try, thank goodness for Nasir, they try to throw a challenge. Yes. Because Erika, they want to get rid of Erika, and like she's constantly being phrased and framed as like this big thing, but because they don't know how to edit that type of player,
right,
they just kind of rely on everyone else to tell us why she is dangerous. And so when she does win, and you do go back and watch this over again, it's like, oh yeah, I understand. I wish they would have shown her doing more, but they are kind of just telling us, hey, she's a threat. We should probably do something about it. And this confessional is one of the rare times that she basically says, yeah, I'll be fine. I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Well, and supposedly the challenge throw, they were actually getting rid of Sydney, I've heard, instead of Erika, but apparently they misled us with the edit. I don't know. Like, I've heard stories of that. It could be...
Drew, why? Like, what was the point of that?
Why? She's such a challenge beast.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Sydney's literally been on the challenge, so I don't know. There was also a secret scene. I do remember this one, watching it like back then, of like Heather has a dream that she voted Sydney off or something. Then she says it like in front of Sydney. I do remember that this was in a secret scene back in 2021. It's the most ridiculous thing, and so I wish that made air, because it would have made Heather a very fun character. I also want to say, like, I met Heather this past year at Celebrity Weekend as well, and she called me adorable when she autographed my book. So I thank you, Heather, for calling me adorable.
Sorry, Heather, you're right. He's adorable, but I vote you out the second you told me about a dream. Like, no, sorry.
That would have been like a funny confessional. She'd been like, she just told me that she had a dream and voted me out. It's like, you gotta go. Like, it's like
it's like Gabon. It's basically what happened in Gabon.
With Susie, Susie telling Corinne she's voting her out.
That's what you.
Ah,
Love you, Heather. Thanks for complimenting Jake, but I would vote you out right then.
Oh my god, poor Heather. Yeah, and so that happened, and then we are going to get JD getting booted, and we can bust out the Shan, the Shantham, because yeah, and so Shan manipulates poor JD into giving up his extra vote, and one of my favorite quotes is when JD is like in the challenge, he goes money and then misses, and then Shan's confessional is like, JD shouted money, might as well have just shouted tribal.
tribal.
Tribal airball.
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along King Polly, where he's this anyone that's never seen Along King Polly. Okay, never mind.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Y'all should watch that. It's a great movie.
I'll have to look it up.
Just look up the Philip Seymour Hoffman basketball scene from it. That's really all you need to see.
So yeah, I was definitely disappointed with JD for just getting completely hosed by Shan and Ricard, specifically Shan, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Because he turns into Eric Reichenbach, and obviously like a much worse version in my opinion. Because
that's once again it's the whole thing of your impulse control. Like, you're finally out here after doing all of this and watching. You just do. You don't know what to do in the moment, so you just go off of just impulse, whether it's right or wrong. You know, you can sit there and say, "Oh man, Eric, what a joke!" in 16, it's like, yeah, but now you're here in 41, and you were doing the exact same thing. And like, thankfully, people don't look back on this one like they do on Eric, I guess. But yeah, you just do, and that's fucking COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we need to show a lot of compassion for JD in this moment, because yes, like, he was a little bit out of control and annoying in the moment with all the things he was saying, but I can comprehend and empathize with, he's so young. We're hitting COVID. He's in Oklahoma City, just getting out of high school, doing this online, trying to figure out college, like, and this is like him living freely. He's like, oh, I just got my dream. So like, it makes sense.
I can empathize with him as well, because I also really connected with his backstory with getting bullied and all that, because that happened to me when I was growing up. And so I completely related to JD, and that's why I picked him as my winner pick, because I'm like, this is like me out there. And so and I would probably be doing things like quoting Survivor players at some point. So like, I do feel bad. It's just like, I just would never consider giving someone that much power to decide, like, that they could decide to just vote me off because they don't need me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Shannon are 10 years older than him, right? Like, there's also that.
Like, come on, and I like how, though, that he sort of represented, like, we've had like fans like make it on Survivor before, and like, oh, I'm a fan of the show. Like, we've literally had seasons called fans versus favorites and stuff like that. But I feel like going into the new era, it being like sort of semi post COVID, semi still dealing with the remnants of COVID, and we're at home watching Survivor, binging all of it. We're now getting into like the game bot players that are like entering this era of Survivor. I think JD kind of represented that, where they had like these game bot players. They're not like normal fans anymore. They're like, I watch it all the time, but I don't play orgs. You know, it's like we're starting to get players that they live it, breathe it, watch it, play it, every form of it.
Right.
And we're now seeing them finally start to get out there. And I think he's kind of like the tip of the spear, if you would, for these other future players that are going to start coming into the new era of being like, you'll Riz God, baby, or like whatever. Like, you know, these players that come in there and they're just like, they live and breathe this sort of thing, and having like that impulse of like, oh, I want to go out there and do everything. Like, I'm not like someone just sitting around like, oh, I just got on here. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with it. But they're like, no, like, I'm out here and this is my dream, sort of thing too.
First one through the door is always the bloodiest.
Yeah.
You get your super fans in this, stage of Survivor history. We get our super fans that have done, all that live, breathe, and whatever Survivor. They're not doing all too well for the most part. And then, we look at the back end of what just happened with Rizzo and 49, where it's like, he does come from our community.
Right.
And not only did he do very well, but he got casted for an all-star season the very next season, I guess. So, JD was almost a sacrificial lamb, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially when Survivor was learning how to walk again.
Right.
It literally got crippled from a disease, and now it's learning how to go through therapy until it's going to come back. And
we've got all the metaphors today.
All the metaphors.
100%. JD walks, so he's got a good run using more metaphors.
That's the part. The Survivor New Era analogies,
Yeah. Well, speaking of Survivor New Era analogies, it's time to activate these idols. And again, as we referred to with the amazing moment with Nasir, I love how we get Xander saying his, Shan and Ricard, Ricard setting up Shan to say hers. And then obviously then you have Nasir interrupting Jeff and being like, Jeff, I'm as confused as a goat on AstroTurf. And you get that flashback scene, which is one of the coolest things Survivor's done, where they go back and show you what happened now that got activated. I think this is a really fun moment to rewatch. And so I really enjoyed this scene.
That was really cool. That was kind of out of a movie that you would see in a movie. It's someone's like, I actually do have this. And it's like, what? Where did they get that? And then it shows flashback, like him running through the beach in the woods. And it's, so he actually did find it hours earlier kind of thing.
Yeah. It was just fun. All right. So we're then going to get to our favorite twist, the Earn the Merge. Which again is going to get repeated for 9 straight seasons.
I didn't ruin my eyeglasses to roll my eyes harder. I can.
Yeah, this is not it, Jeff. Especially with what's going to happen, because we are going to get Erika's big moment of the season here, and so we get the Earn the Merge, and the winning tribe should have immunity, as Jeff has said. They are safe, and now Erika gets sent to Exile Island basically for 2 days. And has the option to either break the hourglass and change Survivor history or nothing. And I don't understand how this is a choice. Obviously, Erika's going to do it. We're going to see Roxroy do it next season. And Roxroy is the most old school player. So if he
does it in one episode, that's the difference. That's the difference. He does it in one episode. We have a cliffhanger where no one's sitting there oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What if he doesn't?
This was also such a weird thing to do a 2-part, I guess, merge or Earn the Merge episode. This is something that's never really been done. I think Panama was the only other time they did this where they didn't eliminate anybody. The penultimate episode, you save Sari losing fire making for the finale. Here, I can understand that a little more than here, where it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and I know that Erika's caught a lot of flack for, and she has nothing to do with this. She would have caught flack if she didn't break it, first of all. But it's similar to the Ricard thing that we referenced earlier, where people shit on Ricard for this, and people kind of shit on Erika here, when in reality, it's not her fault that they introduced this crazy twist on top of a crazy twist of Earn the Merge. Obviously, this is the worst version of the Earn the Merge we're going to get in the post-COVID era, because there's this. I always call it the time turner. I know it's not a time turner. That's Harry Potter. But it's the same concept.
Time turner. I get you.
It's weird. It's one of these weird moments, and we're gonna have another really big one later in the season, where it's when you're sitting in a production meeting, what do you want? What do you want to happen? Because clearly, you're not going to just introduce something just for shits and gigs. As a person working in production, you want something to happen to evoke some type of emotion. Unless you are purposely trying to piss off the fans, and the players, what is the reason for introducing this? That's where my issue comes from, and where everyone's issues are come to it. Not Erika. It should be, who is this for?
Yeah. Because she might have thought, like, I feel like I have to do this.
Right.
Or I feel like I have to break this. Because, well, she didn't make the merge, right? Because she got sent.
Yeah, she did not. So she was sent off, and she wasn't picked, and she was going to be the target at tribal council if everything stayed the same.
I feel like that was also like, okay, so if I get sent over here, like I know I didn't make the merge, and then Jeff comes up with a hammer and an hourglass, and he's like, hey, if you break this, you get to undo something really big, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I'm like, I got a feeling if I break this, I'm going to make the merge. And I'm going to like screw everyone else that just made it like out of it. But like at the same time, though, production wise, they're probably like really like leaning into her. Like, you should do this because we have been waiting all season for this to happen. And it would be shame if you didn't break that hourglass kind of thing. It would have been crazy if it was like, you get to undo like history and Survivor. What's that? Oh, we get to start from the very beginning and undo all the past 40 seasons by breaking this hourglass. Yeah, the other 40 seasons didn't happen if you break this hourglass.
Oh my god.
And they do like an edit cut of like a flashback of everything from the other seasons, like rewinding all the way back to Borneo. That would have been like hilarious.
Endgame just came out 3 years before this. It's very easy to like edit in some people like going away.
Yeah, it's like you see Ricard Hatch go like disintegrate or something like that. Or like Tony like getting like disintegrated or whatever. It's
my gosh, Tony would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Adam Klein going up to Boston Rob being like, Boston Rob, I don't feel so good.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah. He never be amped. Oh,
yeah, I think for Erika, she sets off the new era, a lot of social winners, and she's a social player. That's how she won the game. So going to an island for 2-ish days by herself is taking away her superpower, being social player. So why would you not smash it? You have to.
Especially when you know something like big's gonna happen. I'm like, if I'm going home anyways, I'm smashing this thing. I don't care like what's happening. So
yeah.
And people hate me for it.
Several seasons later.
But then Jeff calling her back in front of everyone and be like, all right, Erika, explain to the class what you did. And then it's like, oh God. Like, okay, well, I was presented with an hourglass.
Sorry, guys, but I want to be here, so...
Yeah. It's like, so smash. Hulk smash.
Because once again, Jeff is wanting everything to be put on the players instead of we came up with a shitty twist. And, and rightfully then we're going to get Danny McRae that... Yeah, I think this is 100% true because this is why they get rid of the twist after 42 is Danny McRae reportedly got so angry at Jeff they had to turn off the cameras and Jeff and Danny got into a fight at tribal council because Danny felt rightfully that they got screwed over. Jeff didn't tell them the truth and that he lied to them completely about them being safe. So I completely sympathize. I think Danny was in the right here. Jeff is in the wrong.
Yeah, because imagine like obviously I feel like it goes beyond like, oh, like you earned your spot there. And I feel like it's maybe because people that if it was like a bunch of people that you didn't like that made the merge, you'd be like, yeah, screw them. They're getting but if it was people that were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, oh fuck. Now like almost all my favorite people are in jeopardy, and maybe the people that I don't like as much are just randomly safe for a little bit. But I feel like it's more layered than that, but I don't know. I could be crazy.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm a rule follower, and this doesn't seem like we follow the rules. Just like Danny McRae, he plays professional sports. He's a rule follower, and we just follow the rules here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, so then that gets revealed, and Ricard wins immunity. And now we're going to get to some interesting things that do happen. So basically we have Liana has now turned after her journey with Shan, she's turned on Yasa. And this is also where we get the formation of the Black Alliance in this season. I know that we had the Black Alliance in Fiji that happened. I know the cookout happened in Big Brother. So this is kind of is this like a year or two after the cookout?
No, the cookout's happening the same time. Well, it's happening the same time, but the cookout's happening live.
Okay.
They just didn't know. It was
Okay. And the camp out is what the internet called.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, was it really an alliance? Like, it survived an episode or two.
Right. Yeah. And like, it's going to lead to an important conversation in a few rounds. And I think it obviously impacts Deshaun's game for him, like his win equity and everything. And so I definitely feel for Deshaun as well when we get to that. Because I think he shouldn't have to feel bad for trying to just play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
not just this round, like the next season, even though like 42 have not watched 41, is going to be the game going forward.
Right. We'll talk about that next season as well. So, and then we are going to get, so Liana is also going to then, she has her knowledge as power, which is another twist. So Liana is going to attempt to steal Xander's idol that is public. And Xander does have this moment where he, gives his idol to Tiffany, and I do love this moment. I really think this is a great moment for Xander. I think where Xander loses the game, we'll get to a couple times after this that I did pick up on the rewatch of why he loses. But I love the moment where Liana asks him if he has an idol, and he's like, no, but you can have this fake. Like, I think this is a really fun moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the Xander fans, the ones that started a GoFundMe for him because he lost.
Wait, that's real? They actually did
Yes.
that?
Oh,
real.
it was real.
I
This is
did
why I don't
not
like
know
Xander
that.
fans. But Xander, they always use this as like, oh yeah, he should have won because of this moment. It's like, yeah, it was a fun moment. The end. It was a fun moment. That doesn't mean this person should win because they had a fun moment at final whatever we're at right here.
Final 12.
But they love this man, and it is fun. They love it so much it has taken me out of liking it, because I loved it in the moment because it was a lot of fun. Rewatching it was a lot of fun. When I'm not rewatching it and I see someone else talk about it, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
No notes, Coach Drew. Exactly. No notes.
Yeah, and like Xander, like he also then could have had the idol be played on Evie to earn their trust in the game, and then I mean he could have played it for Evie in a couple of rounds from now, as well. And I think this is one of like at least 3 opportunities where Xander can use the idol and play it for somebody else and like not burn their jury vote as he does. So, this is also where Sydney is now going to be the victim. She is the first person to play the shot in the dark. So this is something we didn't talk about. Another twist. I'm not opposed to the shot in the dark. The only thing is, like, again, it's players losing their vote, but it is a decision. And if you feel in danger, you can pull this Hail Mary and for a chance at safety. I don't hate it. I think there's some intrigue there. Obviously, we are going to get some fun moments from the shot in the dark when it is successfully played a few seasons. So,
like I said last week, I prefer it over the fire tokens. I feel like it doesn't impact the game to like an extreme level, and like you just said, they're losing their vote because they choose to lose their vote. This is all on them, as like you said, as a last ditch effort of like, hey, I'm probably screwed. My one vote probably won't matter all too much. Let me just get rid of it. If I play it right, gotcha. If I play it wrong, one of these people might end up playing a perfect game because they didn't catch a vote for me in this round. So it's one of the post-COVID twists that I'm fine with. Like, it's all right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy how Vanquish has not done this twist, honestly.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Don't tell them, please.
Well, wait. I mean, Jonathan, your season, Firestarters sort of had it because it was like, what, the Firestarter, you could go to fire. I mean, it's
yeah.
Similar,
it's similar, yeah. In a nutshell.
Yeah. All right, so Sydney is going to go. She would have survived over Evie possibly if she didn't play the shot in the dark. So Sydney is going to go, and then now at this point we are basically going to get Liana's turned on Yasa, and now Yasa is going to kind of start to get picked off. Though we are going to get this split where two tribes, they're split into two teams, and they both go to tribal. And this is where Shan and Ricard do pull off another move to end up blindsiding Nasir with the idol in his pocket. I think obviously this is a bad move for Shan. This is also where she kind of loses control because she also is like kind of making Deshaun not want to work with her anymore. I think Shan is too demanding, like with her approach, and it's not the right way to play things because it's obviously going to get her targeted the very next round. So yeah,
and it's a fun little Dom Wendell dynamic they have. We're talking about Ricard and Shan, where like it is pretty much established at some point we're going to go after each other. We are vocalizing it. We know what's going to happen. Let's just do our thing, and then when it happens, we'll shake each other's hands and be like, okay, you got us or you got me. I'll see you, hopefully we'll talk after the game. By this point in the game, though, I feel like you kind of know it's going to be Ricard turning on her because it seems like a lot of people are trying to turn on her at this point in the game. And so what ultimately happens down the line, it's like, damn, I thought you guys had a mutual respect thing going here. It doesn't feel like that anymore, but
yeah. I feel bad for Nasir here because like Shan really should not be turning on him here. This is a bad move because she even acknowledges that Nasir is like a vote for her. So
yeah, I agree. I don't think Nasir is the right choice here. I love my confused goat on AstroTurf. I'm sad to see him go regardless, but this does not seem like the place, at least if I was Shan, where I'd make that move.
Get rid of Heather here. Like then you're splitting up Erika and Heather, who were apparently a very tight duo that the show didn't really focus on at all. Like they were the Shan and Ricard basically once it came down to it. So yeah, so we are going to lose Nasir. And then Xander, another opportunity where he burns a jury vote is that he does not save Evie with his idol. And like I absolutely think he should just like put his game on the line to save Evie. Like he has immunity, so like he can absolutely do this and keep a number in the game. Like they just lost Tiffany, so they kind of need the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I kind of think this is where Xander, like we saw it beforehand on the last couple episodes, but this really starts where you see him being like a goat, someone you drag to the end, somebody you want to sit next to. And I think this is the most significant episode to start showing that.
Yes. Yeah. And like I would advise people who are still like, trying to set up these GoFundMes to like actually go and watch these moments and like tell me how this benefits Xander's winning chances.
It doesn't, but you buy a nice car or something. We don't have car challenges anymore.
Yeah.
I've met Xander once, and it's the only time that I've felt like I was being rude to someone like at any of these events. So he had shown up with his girlfriend at the time, Andrea Belke, and like I was conversing with her, and someone was like, "Hey, do you want to get a picture of Xander real quick?" I'm like, I really don't want to, and it had nothing to do with him. I was like, because it was like the 42 premiere, and so I'm like peak Xander fan hate at this point, and so like even the picture that we do eventually take, I'm like not smiling in it because I'm that angry at these people for trying to start a GoFundMe for him.
Like he seems like
and he seems so nice too. Like he was such a nice guy.
Yeah. I met Xander as well in a couple Decembers ago. So also at Celebrity Weekend, and again, very nice guy. I told him I was like, my parents both loved you, like, and that was true. My parents did love watching Xander, and they're not the people to like set up a GoFundMe for him, but like they were wondering why he lost at the time. So
I feel like as a casual viewer, he's so easy to love. He's so endearing, so sweet. Even like a super fan, like you can't not like him. You can see why he didn't win. It doesn't mean you just like him.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so let's get to the blind side of the season. So Erika is going to be obviously a big part of helping shift the votes to get rid of Shan, as well as Ricard turning on her. and Shan is also going to leave with an idol in her pocket, which is very crazy. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty satisfying like villain downfall, and like it was definitely like I think probably the best episode of the season. So I enjoyed watching Shan's blind side. So
yeah, and it totally changes. Well, I guess it doesn't really change the trajectory of the season because I still think we're on a crash course of Erika or Heather sitting at the end. But it is very cathartic, I guess, of seeing the villain go down here at this point in the season, because we are 2 episodes away from the finale at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. So see, then it becomes the Ricard show of, is he going to pull this up? Because we're being told he's the biggest threat. So then it becomes, is he going to pull this off or no? And I do think that lays a lot of fun groundwork going into those final episodes, especially the finale.
Yeah, I agree. Any thoughts from Lindsey or Jonathan on the Shan blind side?
Coach Drew, you give me a thought, but I want to table it to the end. Remind me to come back to this.
Okay. Jonathan?
I'm trying to think, because I think at this point in the game, we're obviously seeing like people having what's the word? Conflict of interests in like goals and motivations to get to the end, because in typical Survivor fashion, we have people that come together and they have strong alliances leading up to a point, and then we get to this intersection where I can only go left and you can only go right. We have to eventually take each other out because we both can't go to the end together. And I was wondering if this was probably the best opportunity for Ricard to take Shan out, or if he could have held on to it for at least a couple more votes. But if everyone was already going after Shan at this point, then that to him was probably the time to be like, I have to get rid of my ally, my shield, my number one enemy, number one threat, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing. Because he only goes like 2 more people after this. So it's like, could he, not should have, would have, could have, but it's like, could he have extended her term in the game a little bit longer than that's a term. I don't know why I said term. I was running out of words to say for it. But her lifeline in the game kind of thing. But if everyone's already on board to get rid of her at that point too, then he's like, well, I have to capitalize off this if she's like the number one enemy, and her having her villain arc, if you will, but Ricard also having his own separate villain arc. So it's, villain arcs all around.
Remind me, Jonathan, were there 7 or 8 people left in the game at this
There's
point?
8.
At this point, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With Shan, there's 8 people left in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really interesting point with 8 people left.
Yeah, because they're going to split the votes between Liana and Shan, and their obviously target is Shan. I mean, I definitely don't think it's the right move for Ricard because he has to win out at this point. And that's very hard to pull off. I think an option he could have done is tell Shan that she's getting votes. Liana is going to go if Shan plays her idol, and then maybe Shan is like a shield a little bit.
And that would have put Deshaun in a point where he would have had to pick either Shan or Liana, and he definitely would have stuck with. Oh, he's like, you mean I can keep Shan for another vote? Absolutely, he would have probably done that.
That was the move.
Yeah, so Ricard absolutely should tell Shan because she still trusts him enough to probably play her idol. So
we're so much fun as backseat quarterbacks.
Yes, and we have no knowledge of what 100% of the dynamics were, but but
they can just go back and run it back. Just do it all over again.
They already have the twist. It's there.
They have the hourglass, right? Just bring it back in and
flip it.
Start over.
Yeah. Well, Shan does call Deshaun a snake on her way out as well. So again, poor Deshaun. I again, he's not going to be able to recover from this, unfortunately. So. Yeah.
You're glossing over. Didn't Shan say to Ricard, I hope you win or something?
Yes, that she says that too. Which sometimes people also do that to put a target on someone else's back that they don't want to see win.
What do you guys think?
I think at the moment she meant it. I don't want to caused drama, but I believe her and Ricard stopped speaking after the season.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
No, and I believe this is why one of the reasons, I think there's some drama in 42, but I think this is one of the reasons they stopped doing Ponderosas after this season.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Ah, Ponderosa's the best. Bring it back. Y'all get over yourselves. We want
What?
Ponderosa as viewers.
yeah.
That's news to me. They got rid of it? What?
Yeah.
Rather than well, it's just crazy because like for anyone that's watched all of the Ponderosas, like even like Gabones is very hard to watch sometimes. Tocantins is hard to watch. South Pacific is hard to watch. Like these people hate or Cagayan. Cash shows up and no one talks to her.
I remember that one. Yeah.
So like this ain't the first time, and because Ponderosa episodes are only like 9 minutes, you can just edit it to make it seem like everything was hunky dory.
Right. All right. So Shan is now gone, and we get the next big twist of the game, the do or die, which is a really bad twist. I hate that they have this twist just to like manufacture a way to get rid of somebody potentially. I don't think like I'm glad at least they get a choice again if they want to risk it in the challenge or not, but this shouldn't even be like
A choice.
yeah,
It
exactly.
shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
It's like,
it really shouldn't. So
I feel like it's universal here. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, like worst twist
we'll
ever.
talk about
Like,
it. Like it sucks.
yeah, like Deshaun, like if Deshaun or Lindsey next season, like if one of them went out to this twist, it would have been really awful.
and did you even like benefit from the stupid twist? We got nothing.
Right? Nobody goes out from it. So
Yeah. It's like, well, we're just gonna go back to voting again. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm like,
Yeah, that's the best part of the twist is that in the 2 times they did it, no one got screwed over, and it's like, okay, we're testing fate too much here.
yeah,
Because
the
it's going to
survivor
eventually
got
happen.
100%.
Yeah,
You're totally
Esme's going to get caught with it in 43, or Carolyn in 44. Like we're going to lose somebody that everyone loves, and then the fans are really going to riot over something we should actually.
If they
That's
ever
right.
have a twist, I mean, like actually on the cast in Fiji, I'm tossing that thing over the tribal. Like we're not even playing.
I'd be like, the survivor gods being like, yeah, fuck this shit. This is stupid. Go back to the vote. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's like flame.
yeah.
Flame. We're done.
Flame.
Yeah, and I did want to point out one of my other favorite segments is Danny winning immunity and like his story. Like I thought that was really really good. To get to know Danny a little more.
I think we should talk about that a little bit more because Survivor 41 starts sharing stories.
Yeah.
And enjoy them or not. I thought this was a really cool story to see.
So I know because I knew Australian Survivor had already been doing it in their rebooted series since 2016. They'd been doing backstories for people, and I think I like getting to know people a little more, but I do understand the argument against it because it is kind of like, you know, everybody is talking about their sob story a little too much. But some of them are really compelling. Like I really enjoyed Danny's story. I really connected to JD's story. Like there are stories that are compelling to some people. So I understand it from that perspective. It's just like almost like maybe part of their casting process is like whether someone has a sob story or not. So,
Yeah.
My whole thing has always been, especially with 41 and 42, and I would even put 43 and 44 in there, is we as a collective, as the human race, went through a very traumatic experience together.
Yes.
It's one of the only times that it's ever happened where everyone went through it at the same time.
Right.
And so these people have a lot of pent-up emotions, with not even just with what happened there, but just everything like that they have gone through in life. And now you sat at home and you're stewing in all of this forever. And so when you're out there, Deshaun has this moment that we talked about earlier. You know, I felt like with 41 and 42, we kind of needed it. You know, we needed just who are these people? Yes, but like who are these people? Because I want to get to know folks again because I haven't met anyone new in a while.
Right.
Except when I've been playing org, so I did meet him. But I appreciated it here, and I don't hate it that it continued, but like these are the seasons where it's like, this is good. This is good shit, pal.
Yeah, the world felt alone, and there's like an open window to their lives, and you connected, right? Like, especially with Danny's story. It's how could you not connect with him or feel for him or root for him?
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Liana's gonna go, and then we are gonna lose Danny in the next episode, despite Deshaun trying to drop truth bombs. Like
he's playing with house money.
Yeah. Yeah, he's lucky that like people knew at this point Deshaun was Walking Dead. Like, and they knew that they had to get rid of Danny. So but again, kudos to Erika and Heather, because at this point they, aside from Ricard, and Ricard's not going to make it to the end, so they are like the ones with the actual best chances to win the game at this point.
And they know that, and I think that's important. Like, they know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we're gonna get to the finale. So they get sent back to a new camp for the first time at Final Five, which is, I don't know, like I just don't think this really impacts that much in the last 3 days to all of a sudden just send them to a brand new camp.
It's fine. Like it's not the hourglass.
Yeah,
it's not the hourglass. It's not do or die. It's like,
right.
It's fine.
Right.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah,
but wait, there's more.
So then we have to see them solve a puzzle for an advantage in the challenge, which doesn't always matter anyway.
Yeah, or like they go to the final three and be like, we're going to bring the hourglass back in one more time. And you have a chance to start the game over again.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
It's like the season restarts.
Oh, dear.
For the last, it's actually 39. We're just, we played one play game, and we're just going to add a few 39? More.
Let's throw it back to 20.
You can either choose to end the game right now or add 13 more days. It's like,
oh, dear.
No deal. And like, just like,
no deal.
So we are going to now get to the moment where I think Xander officially burns all of his chances of winning. Well, I guess both in this finale, because he also thinks he can beat Erika. Even though Heather literally straight up tells him you're not winning the game. But he basically decides he flat out tells Ricard that he is the option to save him tonight with the idol. But then he's not going to. Like, this is bad jury management to tell someone that you have the ability to save them, they're going home, but then you just choose not to. Like, why even offer that? Like, that's going to give someone's hopes up. And I can actually understand, because Ricard does go to the jury pissed off at Xander now. Like, this was a really bad play by Xander.
I agree. On my rewatch, my husband was walking through and he saw this exact moment with Ricard talking to Xander, talking about his child. He doesn't know if he's born yet, which I think he had a healthy child. The child was very much born and alive, a couple years old. And my husband's walking through. He's not even like a casual fan. He watches it because I watch it. He's looking at me. He's like, who's going to vote him out? That's so mean. This man is like crying. He's terrified about his potential child being born.
Right.
Then we see this happen. Like, it's like, that's how he's like, I don't watch Survivor. This is how you burn a jury from like, not even a casual fan. This is how you burn a jury.
Yeah. And Lindsey, about people burning jury.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll keep that to ourselves. All right. Yeah. I mean, again, any other thoughts on this moment from Xander?
I mean, like, they're giving him an edit. I mean, like, again, we'll talk about the edit at the end. I feel like that's a big factor in what brings 41 down in the points, in the point department. But yeah, at this point, I'm like, I never really gave it that much thought. I was like, oh, like, is he like, Ricard, I could save you tonight. And then he's just like, oh, really? You're going to do it? No. And it's like, ask.
But I could.
I could.
Yeah.
In theory.
Oh my
I
God.
could. End quote.
Yeah. I just don't know what the play was here to say that. So
I wonder if he was speaking out loud like, Ricard, I could save you tonight. Like, and it's like he's just thinking it over in his head, and the Ricard's like, Are you? No? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. All right. Then we are gonna get fire making. Heather gets eliminated because Xander thinks he can beat Erika in the end. And then we get to final tribal council, and Xander gets no respect from anybody. Shan does get Danny's vote, and Erika wins all the rest. So Erika is the first Canadian winner of the new era. We are going to get back-to-back Canadian winners. So, good on Erika, and then we'll talk about Marianne next week. So I think that's cool because, Island of the Idols was the first time they opened up to Canada, right? Because Tom Laidlaw and 39 was on there. So, let's talk about this because, Jonathan, you just brought up the edit now. And I think this is a big reason why because I guess it's rumors. I think they're pretty credible, but they basically said that people have said that they saw fan reactions to the edit of 41 and changed up their edit for 42 so people wouldn't be as mad. I do think that's probably accurate because I do feel like 42's edit was a lot better than 41's, and I feel like it's just weird that they pumped everything up. Even the finale, we're literally getting Xander's backstory in the finale, and I don't know why they need to show us this at this point because Xander's literally going to get demolished in the end. So
yeah, I feel like we weren't given an accurate representation of what happened.
Right.
Because we're given an edit of the season, and I bought the Xander thing for a minute too. I was falling victim to all the edits, and we're like, Erika who? She didn't really know the stereotypical stuff that people talked about with the season. I was falling victim for, and I was like, oh, it didn't happen. But then you hear everything from factual sources, no, this is actually how it went down. They just didn't edit it how they would normally edit in a season. They told the opposite story in a way, and it's oh, well, that doesn't check out. But I think what you were saying was correct, Jake, in the sense of because of the way the fans reacted to this season, definitely they're well, we gotta make some changes for 42 on how we're gonna what we're gonna show and what we're gonna tell, kind of thing.
Exactly. Drew, Lindsay.
I could talk every day about how Survivor likes to edit certain players.
Yeah.
Jonathan covered it. That's fine.
Yeah. Lindsay, anything? Are we ready to move on to rankings?
I'll just say I was disappointed in how it was edited, and let's move on to rankings.
All right. Yep. Here we go. Let's open those. And boom. All right. Let's go down to first boots. So we have our first boots here. I say we think about Abe and Sarah because I think they're both first boots. I don't think they crack it as much as I like both of them. I just don't think they're beating out this legendary group right here.
Nah.
So, all right. Then we have our fallen angels, and this would be adding Heather again. I think Heather actually had a chance to win, but the show didn't want to show that. I don't think Heather is still cracking the fallen angels. She had to call me adorable though, so I a couple bonus points.
You can put yourself in the adorable category if you want. Yeah.
So, I don't think we're adding Heather to the fallen angels. I don't think she beats out this group.
Yeah, not with the group you're putting. No.
Yeah. All right, losing finalists. I don't think we're adding Deshaun or Xander to this group. So this might be a wash for every category.
Yeah.
Winners, I don't think Erika, again, she did more than I think the edit showed. She had the lamb becoming a lion storyline, but again, she is not cracking this top 10.
Nah.
So.
She's a top 25 winner, but maybe 25, not.
Yeah. They didn't. Yeah, she just fell victim to the edit, which sucks. It's
Right.
you had it. She got the job done, and it's well, we're not going to show your story.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
All right, and then seasons. I am not putting 41 in this. It's one of my least favorite, just because of the editing mainly. And I didn't gel with this cast as much, but again, a lot of that is down to the edit. So
Yeah,
30 of 49 for me.
edit done dirty.
Yeah. All right.
drop the 4, keep the 1.
I don't
Drop
believe
all
in
of it,
keeping the
honestly.
1. for
Just
any-
drop the 4 and 1.
Yeah.
Drop the 4 and 1. Just drop it all.
Yeah. So, all right. Perfect. So let's hit our favorite male and female, or of course, Evie. Favorite for me, I still enjoy Xander on this season. I'm probably going to end up saying Xander here. Because he was still enjoyable to watch, even though I can pick up and critique like all the things he did wrong to lose this game. And then women, I mean, because someone cue the Shanthem, because I have to pick Shan. She was such a huge part of the season for most of it, and she was like a huge like driver of strategy in this game. And it is again shocking that she has not come back. I think some of that is due to drama that did happen, that they've said that they wanted joyful players in 50. So I think that's probably why Shan is not back. So all right, what about you guys? Lindsay, who do you have for your favorite?
Oh, you're gonna make me choose,
or not least favorite.
Thinking. Okay. I think for the women, I have to give it to Shan.
Yeah.
I love her anthem, the I think she's very funny, and she is the OG villain of the new era, if you want to use the word villain, since Jeff doesn't. But she's also a fun, intriguing player. I'd love to see her again. I think she might have a very different trajectory if she plays in a 50 season, should she accept that. For the guys, that's so hard. As much as I thought he fumbled, I want to give to Shan another chance. I would love to see him again.
All right, so Shan and Sean. All right, Jonathan, what about you?
For guys, I'll say Nasir. I liked his energy on the season a lot. I liked that he was just like kind of like I'm out here and this is awesome, and he's just got like a big goofball mentality.
Yeah.
Plus, I think I followed him on Instagram, and I think he followed me back, which I thought was like really cool. It's like Nasir followed me, like he knows who I am, kind of thing. I need to check. I need to see if that wasn't a mistake or not. But regardless, he's my favorite guy player for this 41.
Yes.
For the ladies, I'll say, you know what? I'll go with the pre-merger. I'll say Jeannie.
Ooh, wow.
I like Jeannie a lot. I thought she was really cool.
Yeah, I think Jeannie could have been interesting. I just don't think she ever got her footing in the game.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It was like, just
yeah.
what are you gonna do, kind of thing.
For sure. Coach Drew, your favorite?
Nasir and Shan, for all reasons that
I want to change mine to Nasir.
All right. All right. Yep, I will change yours, Lindsay. All right. So then the last question, because this season clearly had an impact on the evolution of Survivor. How did the season contribute? And with all that we've said, the abundance of advantages, the beware advantages, the shot in the dark, so much that impacted the format that we now see for 9 seasons in a row. The diversity, which is hugely important, and like that's like the biggest positive of the new era, my opinion. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have more. So that's what I'll go with for 41. What about you guys, Coach Drew?
I mean, I feel like you like the diversity, obviously, but they thankfully after 42 they start to ease up on the advantages. But yeah, this is, like I said last week, this just continues a narrative that's been going on since season 20 of, hey, let's just add a whole bunch of new stuff. And except for at this point, we're just adding all of the new stuff at the same time. It also starts, things that, earning the merge. And like, I know there's been different variations of earning the merge. This is by far the worst, but it also starts the fandom largely backlashing against the show. Some warranted, some not, but this is when the fandom has now multiplied by whatever after COVID. So now we have all these new fans that are convinced that old school is 1 through 40, when old school is like 1 through 10. We have this. It's the season didn't help Survivor for the better, but I do think there are moments in this that do help it, for the better moving forward.
Yeah. 100%. Lindsay?
I think this season started a different way of thinking when it comes to Survivor. Like, think outside of the box. Like, what do you expect? Like, we already know, like, expect the unexpected. Big Brother, CBS filters in. But seriously, thinking outside the box with the way beware advantages. Like, we're gonna see something. It kicks off the new era and things we don't expect in a way to, like, you don't really know what to watch for. Like, idols aren't necessarily hanging on trees anymore. Like, you really have to think outside, be creative.
Yeah, 100%. Jonathan?
Yeah, I'll copy and paste everything that everyone said about it. Survivor is back. That was the whole thing, right? Because it was gone. It was off the air for a year and some change. It touched on it. Obviously, brought us into the new era. It had been off the air for a long time, but it definitely was a big reset button, for better or for worse, depending on how you look at the season. Regardless, and it definitely showed everyone the new direction and new format they wanted to go with the show, and this would be felt throughout the entire new era from 41 to 49 and probably 50 as well, a little bit. But it was a new shot in the arm, whether it was the medicine we needed or it was the medicine we got, or whatever the phrase is that you say. But it was like, it's what we got. And then it was, the biggest point was that Survivor is back. It's not canceled. It's not going anywhere. And it's here to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got 41 done in just a little over our time. We thought we were going to have to rush through it, and we got it done. So that is one of the new era done, and we're heading to 42 next. So some of the same twists. We are going to get to talk about Jonathan and his Survivor 50 legacy. We will talk about friend of the show, Mike Turner. We will talk about Marianne. We will talk about Omer. Like, there's a lot of fun cast members to discuss next week. So I'm excited to talk 42 with you, Jonathan, and with Shan and Kevin. So with that, we will see you all next time for more Survivor 1 through 50 on the Tribe of Nerds.